What's up, everybody? It's Kevin here from Happy Beard Games, and today we are doing a top 5 list. Yes, the top 5 most valuable NES games in my library, in my collection. These are games for the Nintendo NES. I'm not counting my Famicom games, but just my Nintendo NES games. And there's not going to be any homebrew, there's not going to be any repro or anything like that, just to point that out. But this is a list that I've seen floating around the internet on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook groups, various social media, and I've seen some videos on YouTube where they did this, and for some reason I saw so many of them that I thought I was requested or tagged in one of them, but I guess I wasn't. If I was, let me know, because I tried to find the video that I was requested or tagged in and I couldn't find it anywhere. I couldn't find it on my Twitter feed. I just couldn't find it. So either I was dreaming or confused, probably both. And so yeah, I'm gonna do it anyways. I watched a couple other YouTube videos from Retrolectors and Do You Nerd, so if you want to go check out theirs, their own lists of their top 5 most valuable NES games, you can go check them out. I'll have the link to their channels in the description below. And they're a pretty cool list. So check out Retrolectors and Do You Nerd. Alright, let's jump in with the top 5 most valuable NES games in Kevin from Happy Beard Games' game library. Now you might think of value as monetary, that is, stuff that you can sell later on in your collection. I have no intention of selling any of this stuff, any of these games. They mean something to me and I like to keep them. And actually I play all these games, even though some of them surprised me on this list as I found out their monetary value. Now this list is actually going to be a monetary value list, just to keep it easy for me. And number 1 is going to be the most expensive, and it'll go down to the 5th most expensive game that I own. Alright, jumping in with number 5. Now this is a game that I have a little bit of a story to talk about. Actually, all these games I have a little bit of a story, so I'll try to keep that short and mostly talk about the game's story and my personal feelings toward that game rather than the gameplay itself. But all of my NES games, I have about 90 of them currently, not including Famicom. And these games, they all have a little bit of a story to me, whether it's where I got it, what I played with it, played with friends, stuff like that, things that I did on YouTube for that game. I have memories for each and every one of these games. And this one is no exception. It is Pinball for the NES, valued at $21, complete in box. And yes, it is complete in box. The game cart's very nice condition throughout. It seemed like when I got it, it was never played, but the box is in kind of bad condition, and I got another game that's also on this list at the same time as this box, so I'll keep that part a secret for now. But here it is, Pinball on the Nintendo Entertainment System. It's a black box game. I don't know if that really increases the value, but it's one of the early NES games. And it's got the box, it's got some damage there, just like folds, nothing real bad. There's no rips on it, there's no tears or anything, and there's no foam inside. If you know about the NES boxes, there's no foam. So this one doesn't have the foam inside, but the other games that I have on this list will. And speaking of Pinball, we've also got the cart, and we've also got the manual, of course, the instruction booklet, which is also in pretty nice condition. It's not damaged. You can open all the pages, even though it's a very short manual. We've got Pinball. So yeah, that's the first game, Pinball. And this game I actually haven't really played that much myself, maybe like 2 or 3 times since I bought it. But the story behind this is about 4 years ago, there was a store in Seaside, Oregon called Sticky's that I used to go to. They sold games, mostly used video games, and I went there, and behind the glass counter, I was looking for some retro games, some Super Nintendo, Genesis, Nintendo, or older, and I found a couple games that were complete in box. One of them is on this list later on. I'll save that as a secret once again, and the other one was Tecmo Bowl, which I skipped on. But I got this for $5, and it's valued at $21 as a complete in box game. I didn't know what it was at the time. The guy at the store didn't know what it was at the time. I was like, okay, maybe $5? I don't know. I feel like I ripped him off now, but oh well, it's a little too late for that. Alright, we're moving on up to number 4 on this list, and this is a game that I really do love, and this is one of the reasons that I bought my NES, and one of the reasons why I love this console. This is one of my favorite game series of all time, and I really do love this game. but it's also one of the more valuable games that I have. So this game is priced at, checking on the cheat sheet, $24. The last game was $21, so we're stepping it up by $3 on this game. And that game is Castlevania. Not just any Castlevania, it's the Castlevania 5-screw edition. Ooh, yeah, 5 screws, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know what it is with NES games, but some of them have 5 screws. And there's something else that I noticed about these games. And here's my 5-screw Castlevania, here's my 3-screw Batman. I don't know if there's a variation on Batman or not, I don't think there is. But there's another difference between having the screws that you can notice on the card itself. And that is this part right here. It has this little like chip-in thing, like a little seam. It doesn't have that on the 5-screw version as far as I can tell. So that's one way that you can also notice that it's a 5-screw version of your game. Now with Castlevania on the NES, my card is actually in pretty poor condition. You can tell that there is some writing on the back as well as some Sharpie writing on the front. I have tried to get rid of this. What I need to do is get one of those magic erasers, I think, and really work hard on it. I tried to get it off as much as I could, which is why it's faded, kind of, but it only got about half the marker off. So the value probably goes down from there, but the fact that I can probably clean it up might help as well. And for me, the value truly is in Castlevania, is in the game. The gameplay and the video game itself is, once again, one of my favorite games of all time. I can't really go into too much detail here now because we're short on time, but this game is awesome. Check it out if you love platformer action games in the 8-bit style, and this is one of the best, especially in October, because it's got that horror theme to it. Very cool. Gametober, yeah! Alright, on to number 3, and this is kind of funny because it has 3 in the title of this game as well. And you might find this familiar because it's in the same series as the last game, and that is Castlevania 3, Dracula's Curse. Now my little backstory for Castlevania 3 is that it's not only the gameplay that I love the level design, the characters, Alucard, Trevor Belmont, really cool game, but I have a little bit of backstory for this. This was the first NES game that I ever got. When I got my NES, it was from a friend back in the day, back in around 2006, 2007? Yeah, I'm a late adopter for the NES, but I got it when I was 16 or 17. I got the NES, and she had a whole bunch of games, like a whole shelf of games, maybe like 20, 30 games, and I was only allowed to pick 5 of them. Even though she was my friend, really close friend at the time, she gave me her console without any hookups or controllers, but she gave me the console and she let me pick 5 games. So this is one of the games that I picked. I didn't know of its value at the time, I just knew that I loved Castlevania, and this was one that I really wanted to play. So this is one of the first games I ever got on the NES. I got it with those 5 games. I think the other 5 games were the first 3 Mario and Kid Icarus and Castlevania 3. Pretty sure that's what it was. So, pretty cool. One of my first games. Really love this one. Castlevania 3 is priced at $27, so another $3 increase from the last game. Now, to find the value of these games, I'm using the website pricecharting.com, which I'll have the link to in the description. And that's where I found the value, monetary value, of all these NES games. And this is one where we're stepping it up for the top 2. These are the big ones, guys. These are the big ones. While the last game was $27, this one is a total of $57. So not a $3 increase, a $30 increase. And that game is one that, you know I love, Monster Party. I've done multiple videos on this. I built up my gameplay ability on this, and I was finally able to do a full review of it last year. It's a very fun game. I really love this game. I didn't know what to expect when I jumped into it. All I knew was that my friend requested I get it. And that's how I got this game. My friend Brian from the Caffeinated Owl, who you may have seen on my channel multiple times, requested that I get this game and play it. So I went to eBay, half.com, which no longer exists. I found some Goodwill listings. Not just one, but there was like 3 of them. I think it was like $12 or $15. And not only was it the game, so you might be thinking, why is this $57? Well, I have the game, I've got the box, in probably my best condition NES box that I've ever seen, and of course I've got the manual. We're really, really nice condition. I'm trying to not touch it too much because it's really nice condition, but it's a great manual. And the box design is awesome too. I love this box art. So not only is it valuable and cool to have the complete in box, it's a really cool looking box. I love this box. Really nice design, really nice. Definitely stands out from the black box, very different design. But Monster Party is a great game. You play as a young boy who encounters a monster, takes him to another world, another dimension, you fight other monsters. Has some really bizarre imagery and some really fun gameplay, so check out my review if you want to learn more about Monster Party. But just to let you know, guys, this has the foam inside, and I got a really good deal on this. $12 essentially for a complete in-box Monster Party, and this was not that long ago, guys. This was within the lifespan of my channel, so maybe like 2 or 3 years ago. I had a video where I picked it up. Alright guys, it's time for number 1 on my list of the top 5 most valuable NES games in my collection. And this one really surprised me. I had this game sitting on my shelf for a while, didn't think much of it, I thought it was less than Pinball, but I got it the same day that I got NES Pinball, which I showed earlier in this video. And this is my number 1 game, guys, but I'm not sure. It's not in the best condition. Some of it is, at least. And the game is actually valued where Monster Party was at $57. This game is at $83. $83, complete in box. And this game is complete in box. We've got Soccer. Da-na-na-na! Soccer. Soccer! Number 1 is a soccer game. A really generic one for the NES, but wait. It's black box. Not only that, 5-screw. Not only that, really nice condition. I haven't even cleaned it. It's just nice condition. I've only played it like twice. So we got Soccer. We've got the manual, and this is where things start getting a little, you know, it's not like, I wish it was in better condition. We've got the manual. You can see it had some water damage. It is openable, sort of, but it's a manual. I have it. It might be repairable in some way or another. It's got some folds. It got some water damage down the center. But we got the Soccer manual, instruction booklet, and then we've got the game case, which also has some water damage on it. Actually, I don't know if it's water damage. It's actually not that bent up, but it has this rip on the sticker there, right in the center of the art, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, we've got our 5-screw soccer game. We've got our soccer box and the manual as well. Inside the box, we've got the full box. Everything's looking pretty good except for the front cover. We've got some NES foam in there. Yeah, styrofoam. Everybody loves that. Apparently, I've heard that online collectors, they really look for that NES styrofoam when they're looking for a game. It really kind of certifies that it's a new game, as well as having the game sleeve, the plastic game sleeve that comes in the box, which I have multiple of those. But yeah, Soccer NES, very basic soccer game. The only memory that I really have for this, besides buying it, is there's a really cool like halftime cheerleader show on this. It's really 8-bit pixely, lots of fun to watch in the middle of your soccer game. But for the most part, my memory for that is the same as when I bought Pinball. I saw it behind the glass case. I asked him how much it was going to cost, and I bought that and Pinball complete in box for $5 each, and it's an $83 game apparently, if it was in really good condition, I'm assuming. But the condition's not really that bad. The manual is probably the worst condition out of it, and then that scratch on the front. But the game card itself is in great condition, and once again, 5 screws. Some of these games really surprise me. Soccer being an $83 game really surprises me. I'm not entirely sure on that accuracy of that cost, but that's what the website that I was basing all this off of says. I still think Monster Party is probably my best bet in being my most valuable game, and that was at $57, Monster Party. Now, some of these games are valuable to me sentimentally, and I kind of mentioned that throughout, but Monster Party is a big one. Same with the Castlevania 1 and Castlevania 3, some of my most favorite games on the NES. But there's a couple other ones, just to make another little 5 list, that I really do like. One of them is, of course, Batman on the NES, Batman the video game by Sunsoft. I'm making a costume cosplay based on the way Batman looks in this game. You can check that out on my channel. I'll be wearing it really soon at a convention, Portland Retro Game Expo, really soon. And then another game that is really important to me that I really do like. I live in Astoria, where The Goonies was filmed. Here is The Goonies 2 for the NES, which I've had autographed at the Goonies convention a couple years ago by the actor that played Chunk in the movie Goonies. So Truffle Shuffle, he wrote my name on it, he wrote his autograph, wrote Truffle Shuffle. Really cool. Alright, and that was the full list of my top 5 most valuable NES games, as well as some honorable mentions of games that may not be too valuable, but they're valuable to me. And that's what really matters. What really matters is that you have fun, you have experiences with the games, your friends, gameplay, various things, buying the games, stuff like that, just experiences. And that's what really matters. The monetary value, you don't need that. You need the memories, you need the experience. So that's it for my list. But you know, now that I'm thinking about it, anyone can make this list. I'm not going to tag anyone because anyone can make this list if they're an NES collector, NES gamer. You can use the price charting website that I have provided to come up with your list, or you can make your own list for your own methods and come up with your own way to find out your most 5 valuable games on the NES. And if you make that video, please be sure to send it to me just by asking me to go to your channel in the comments, or sending me the video link, or any way you want to do it, because I'll watch it, and that'll be cool. So just make a video if you want to, and I'll watch it if you let me know. So that's the simple way to do it. I can't think of anyone that has a substantially big NES collection or even collects NES games off the top of my head right now. So that's the best way to do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching this top 5 list. Once again, thank you to Retrolectors and Do You Nerd for sparking the idea and interest in me to make this video, although I wasn't directly tagged. I don't know who tagged me. Really strange, I can't remember who did it. But anyways, thanks for watching everybody. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bye!